I call Tim McIndoe.
Mr Speaker, somewhat unexpectedly, I find myself taking a call on the Taxation Transformation First Phase Simplification and Other Measures Bill, and I do so with great pleasure, and I want to acknowledge the work of those members of the committee who have considered the bill. I thank the members of the House who have spoken tonight, and I think in the main engaged constructively with the principles of the bill. I'm intrigued to follow Dr Clark, and I say to Dr Clark that when he first entered this House, I saw in him a gentleman who I thought would go a very long way in the Labour Party. But I'm disappointed to find that in recent speeches he seems to be resorting to cliches and dogma and not speaking with great conviction. And I would suggest to him that instead of trying to parrot out these lines that suggest the National Party's looking after its corporate mates and we've got a taxation system that's only looking after the fair and all the rest of it, what he might actually consider is the fact that this is a government that has lowered the tax burden for hard-working Kiwis on low and middle incomes to the lowest level ever. And I'm very proud of that. I was very proud to support that when we passed that measure through in 2010 with the tax switch. And instead of listening to me, Dr Clark has simply decided to shout over me. I didn't shout at you, Dr Clark, and it would be lovely if you might actually listen instead of just shouting while I'm speaking. Because I do believe that Dr Clark is better than that. And I do know that he's an intelligent man who I'm sure could understand the issues and could give a much more effective analysis of them. No, I don't require any assistance from Dr Woods either. I'm very happy to point out the fact that this is a government that is committed to a fair tax system, that understands that a low tax rate across the board is one that ultimately produces greater revenue because it's one that has incentives for people to work hard. The higher the tax burden, and you see that in many of the third world countries, the lower the actual revenue that is achieved because there are far greater incentives to avoid tax and for corruption and all the rest of it. And so, sir, this is a bill that is contributing further to the fact that the New Zealand economy benefits from one of the best tax systems in the world. And I acknowledge my very good friend, Mr Woodhouse, the Minister of Revenue, who has signalled through the budget announcements that there are further significant transformations coming in the tax area. I look forward to that. I know that the business community looks forward to that. Ultimately, I believe that they will be of benefit to all New Zealanders. And so it is for that reason that I am delighted to support this bill.
Members,